Good morning, fellas, and welcome back to Me Plays Games. My name is Matt, and when you catch a Pokemon, it has a list of moves it can learn. But the Pokemon you fight in the games or watch in the anime don't always follow the same rules. So today, my friend Elias and I are going to take a look at some of the illegal moves in Pokemon over the years. This isn't going to be a complete list by any means, just a bunch that I found interesting. Alright, let's get started.
Let's start with moves that we see Pokemon use in the video games despite not being a part of their normal learn set. Lance is well known for a lot of shenanigans, including his 3 underleveled Dragonite. But he's also been found guilty of teaching his Pokemon illegal moves twice. In the Elite Four fight in Gen 1, his Dragonite knows Barrier, which it's never been able to learn by normal means. But it's worth noting, there used to be one way to obtain a Barrier Dragonite. Back in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the Kanto Classic Wi-Fi tournament was held in 2016, where you were only allowed to use Kanto Pokemon, but Mewtwo and Mew were banned. Trainers could play up to 30 battles across 3 days, and anyone who completed at least 3 battles was rewarded with an exclusive Dragonite. It was a reference to Lance's Dragonite in Gen 1, meaning it was the same level and it knew all the same moves, namely Agility, Slam, Hyper Beam, and the infamous Barrier. That tournament ended over 7 years ago though, so there's no way to get a new one now.
I want you all to know that Elias spent a minute laughing for no reason before he was able to get any lines out whatsoever. And then he just recorded all of this perfectly fine.
Yeah, my stomach hurts.
Oh boy.
Good
The
one.
illegal move he has in Generation 2 just makes me sad. After being promoted from Elite 4 to Champion, Lance taught his Aerodactyl Rock Slide, which you'd think Aerodactyl could learn, right? Nope, not till Gen 3. Many move pools in the first 2 generations of Pokemon were pretty shallow for no reason, but over time, more Pokemon gained access to a wider variety of these older moves. And Aerodactyl is just one of the many victims of horrible, awful move pool syndrome, or HAMS for short. You couldn't teach your own Aerodactyl Rock Slide in Gen 2, so unfortunately this is another illegal Pokemon for Lance. I send it to you to 100 hours of community service.
Here's another move you might not think is illegal. In Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, there are 153 Master Trainers scattered around the region, each one specializing in a different Kanto Pokemon, plus Meltan and Melmetal. After beating the game, you can fight all of them, but you have to use the same species of Pokemon as they do. These trainers have high-leveled Pokemon, and many of them know moves that are super effective against themselves. Thunder Punch Charizard, Shadow Ball Slowbro, Ice Beam Dragonite, and so on and so on. The Onix Master is Hiker Jim, who you can fight in the underground path between Route 7 and 8. Jim's Onix knows Wrap, which it normally can't learn. It can learn the very similar move Bind though, which is probably what he was supposed to have here.
Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 introduced a set of downloadable World Championship tournaments, where you fought against the actual teams used by the top 4 finishers at Worlds in 2012. These tournaments followed VGC rules, meaning you were playing double battles, you could only pick 4 Pokemon for each fight, and they were automatically set to level 50. Abel Martin Sands was the 3rd place finisher in the Masters Division, so his team was included in the tournament. But for a couple days, there was a minor mistake on his squad. In the actual World Championships, his Metagross knew the physical move Ice Punch, but for the first 3 days of the tournament being live, Abel's Metagross had the special move Ice Beam instead. This mistake was eventually fixed though, and the tournament was updated to include the right move, Ice Punch. A few weeks earlier, the Junior Division Challenge Tournament was also released, and one of the players was 3rd place finisher Brendan Zhang. The mistake they made with Abel's team was pretty minor, but they just gave Brendan an entirely wrong team. During Worlds, he used a Sand team with Tyranitar, Garchomp, Scizor, Thundurus, Hitmontop, and Cresselia. But in the downloadable tournament that followed, he originally had this team, which featured Rain and Trick Room. I'm assuming he used this team in a previous tournament, but for the life of me I can't find any information about it, so take that with a grain of salt. In any case, this mistake was also fixed in a couple days, and Brendan was given the Sand team to use during Worlds.
In Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you can fight Dawn in Sand Gem Town on weekends, as long as you're playing as the male player character Lucas and you've entered the Hall of Fame. If you beat the Elite Four and champion Cynthia 10 times, and you chose Chimchar as your starter, Dawn will have a level 70 Mr. Mime on her team. Its moves are Psychic, Dual Screens, and, well, we're pretty sure she was meant to have Power Swap, but the game gave her Power Whip instead, which is an entirely different move.
Just want to say you have a good, narration voice.
Thank you.
Normally, Drillbur and Excadrill can't learn any Water-type moves, not even Rain Dance, which most Pokemon have access to. Heck, some Fire-types learn it, but that's rant I've already done on this channel. Anyway, for a few hours in 2020, it was possible to catch a Drillbur with Hydro Pump because of an error. Wild Area news events were featured in Pokemon Sword and Shield, where certain Pokemon would become more common in max raid battles for a few days or weeks. On April 8th, 2020, a new Wild Area news event began, and one of the featured Pokemon was Drillbur. In Pokemon Shield only, Drillbur was accidentally given Hydro Pump, instead of the intended move, Scratch. Drillbur had all the right moves in Pokemon Sword though, so to get the Forbidden One, you would either have to play Shield, or join a Drillbur raid that originated from somebody else's copy of Shield. That error meant it was possible to evolve it into Excadrill, and give it a Water-type move for the first time, excluding Hidden Power of course. Not that you'd want to use it though, Hydro Pump is a special move, and Excadrill's special attack stat is hot garbage. Later that day, the mistake was caught, and Drillbur and Pokemon Shield were given the right moveset. On top of that, any Drillbur or Extra Drill that were caught with Hydro Pump couldn't be traded or used in online battles. This mistake is actually a 2-for-1, because when Pokemon Dynamax, their moves turn into Max moves, and Extra Drill normally can't use the Water-type one, Max Geyser. Not only does it do big damage, but it also sets up rain on the battlefield. So Extra Drill's dreams of becoming a rain setter were short-lived. You hate to see it.
Victory Road is home to a bunch of strong trainers, and apparently that includes some criminal trainers. In Pokemon Emerald, cool trainer Diane has a Lantern that knows the move Earthquake. Lantern has never been able to learn any ground-type moves.
Another illegal trainer can be found in Union Cave in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Eliza's favorite game. Anyway, Ace Trainer Nick has a Squirrel that knows the move Curse. That's a universal TM in Gen 2, but it was removed from most Pokemon's
Speak slower, for the love of Christ.
But it was removed from most Pokemon's learn sets afterwards, including this little guy's. Nick Squirrel kept his moveset from Gold and Silver, resulting in this illegal move. Pokemon from Gen 2 can't be transferred to Gen 4, so it's impossible to have a Cursed Squirtle in the remakes otherwise.
There are also some illegal moves that have popped up in trailers and other promotional material. In the lead up to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, a trailer was shown during a Pokemon Presents. In said trailer, a Pikachu is shown using the move Return during a contest. Pikachu is in fact compatible with this move, along with most other Pokemon in existence. There was just one issue. Return wasn't actually in the game. In Pokemon Platinum, Professor Rowan gives you the Return TM on your way out of his lab, but he doesn't give you a TM in BDSP. Return doesn't exist at all in Generation 8. In a similar vein, Pokemon posted pre-release screenshots for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire on their website, which included a Blaziken using Ice Punch. Blaziken has never been able to learn any Ice-type moves whatsoever on account of being, you know, a fire chicken. There was also a move error in Pokemon X and Y's E3 trailer. During the demonstration of the brand new Fairy type, a Gardevoir is seen using Fairy Wind, a move that it doesn't have access to in the final games.
Some trainers, mostly bosses like gym leaders and Elite Four members, have taught their Pokemon level up moves too early. In Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, Winona's Altaria knows Dragon Dance at level 33. Altaria doesn't learn this move till level 40, and its pre-evolution Swablu can't learn it at all. Dragon Dance isn't available as a TM or TR till Generation 8, meaning this Altaria is impossible in Gen 3. But in Generation 6, Altaria learns Dragon Dance at level 30, meaning this is legal in ORAS.
Yeah, you were about to read mine, weren't you?
Don't worry about it. They don't need to know that.
There's a similar case in the Elite Four as well. The Dark-type specialist Sydney has a Shift Tree that knows Extra Sensory. He's level 48, but Shift Tree doesn't learn the move till level 49. Whoops. Once again, this is only the case in Gen 3. In Gen 6, Shift Tree gets Extra Sensory at level 36.
This one is exclusive to Pokemon Emerald. Norman's Lanoon knows Slash at whopping 12 levels early. You fight as Lanoon at level 29, but it's not supposed to learn Slash to level 41. Norman doesn't have a Lanoon in ORAS, but it would still be an error in that game. Now it learns Slash to level 32.
Next up is Bertha of the Sinnoh Elite Four. In Pokemon Platinum, her Rhyperior knows Rock Wrecker at level 55. Rhyperior can't learn that move until level 61 normally in Gen 4, but starting in Gen 6, Rhyperior can learn Rock Wrecker at level 1, meaning this combination is possible in all future games. And in the final boss battle of Pokemon Violet, AI Turo's Iron Valiant knows Spirit Break at level 67. Normally, Iron Valiant can't learn that move till level 91. It also can't be bred with this move since Paradox Pokemon can't be bred.
In Generation 7, the Move Reminder can teach your Pokemon any move in their level up learn set, even if they haven't hit the required level. So, Norman's illegal Lanoon is possible in Alola and nowhere else. In other games, Move Reminders can only reteach moves your Pokemon had at an earlier level and forgot.
If you've been enjoying this video so far, subscribe to Me Plays Games and consider becoming a channel member. For as little as $2.99 a month, you can support this show and get a shout out at the end of each video. There are also higher tiers that allow you to vote on upcoming videos, watch them a day early, and enjoy exclusive Let's Plays. Thank you for supporting the channel.
The Pokemon anime doesn't strictly follow the game's learn sets, so there are a lot of cases of Pokemon on the show learning moves they can't use in the games. A whopping 12 Pokemon have used Tackle despite not learning it in the games. 13 if you count Duplica's Ditto. It used Tackle after transforming into Jesse's Arbok, which can't learn it in the video games. 2 of those 12 Pokemon have since gained access to Tackle. Lickitung got it in Legends Arceus, and Rhyhorn got it in Sword and Shield. Prior to that, its starting attacking move was Horn Attack, which is quite a bit stronger. In a similar vein, 9 Pokemon have illegally used Gust on the show, but Starly and Staravia learned the move in Legends Arceus, so make it 7.
There's also been a fair share of English dubbing errors on the show, resulting in trainers telling their Pokemon to use moves that they don't know. In the English version of the Ninja Poke Showdown, Ash tells his Bulbasaur to use Whirlwind, which it can't learn. But in the original Japanese version, he wasn't calling a specific move at all. He was just telling Bulbasaur to, quote, blow it away. This is a translation error because Whirlwind's Japanese name translates to, quote, blow away. There are a couple of other cases of this. In the episode Power Play, Gary tells his Umbreon to use its footwork, but in the English dub, he tells Umbreon to use the move Agility. In the English version of From Ghost to Ghost, Morty tells his Ghastly to use Confusion, but no command was given in the original version.
I mean, I was just like, that's a stupid episode name.
Yeah, From Ghost to Ghost.
A lot of the anime episodes have puns for names, I've noticed.
I get it. It's supposed to be from coast to coast.
Yeah. But as you can probably imagine, sometimes actual moves get mistranslated as well. In the Japanese version of the Ties That Bind, Ash tells his Heracross to use Fury Attack, but in the English dub, Ash calls Fury Swipes instead, which Heracross can't learn. To this day, I have no clue why both those moves exist, but whatever. In the English dub of Bye Bye Psyduck, Marina tells her Starmie to use Bubble, but in the original version, she called move Bubble Beam. In Dueling Heroes, Ash's Totodile uses Headbutt in Japanese, but Skull Bash in English. And Steelix has been the victim of a couple dubbing errors as well. In one dubbed episode, he's told to use Bite instead of Crunch, and in another it uses Wrap instead of Bind, the same error that Hiker Jim's Onyx had in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
This is one of the weirder mistakes because it's exclusive to the English closed captions. In the episode Dewpider Ascending, a Surskit is shown using an attack. Since it was a wild Pokemon, the name of the move in question was never said out loud by a trainer, but the closed captions in the English version say Surskit is using Tackle, which it actually can't learn. There are also some cases of illegal moves in the Super Smash Bros. Series. Matt and Dash went over this example in a previous video, link in the description, but Pichu's side B is Skull Bash, and its up B is Agility. Pichu can't learn either of these moves. You have to evolve it into Pikachu first, and even then, Pikachu only sorta kinda has access to Skull Bash. It can learn the move via TM40 in Gen 1, but that's the only way you can teach it to a Pikachu.
Outside of the playable characters, other Pokemon appear in the game via the Pokeball, assisting whichever fighter grabbed the item. There's a Pokemon that uses Splash and Smash, but for whatever reason it's not Magikarp. Nope, it's Goldeen of all things. Couldn't tell you why, especially because Goldeen can't learn Splash in the main series games. Oh well. In Melee, you can get Unknown from Pokeballs, and it'll use the move Takedown. But in the main series, Unknown can't learn any moves besides Hidden Power.
Rayquaza is a boss in Brawl Subspace Emissary story mode, and your job is to take him out with Fox and Diddy Kong. One of the moves Rayquaza uses is Dig, which it doesn't have access to in the main series games.
You sound like you have something else to say.
Rayquaza.
Well,
that'll do it for this video. There's plenty more illegal moves we didn't talk about today, so leave a comment if you'd like to see us go over the rest. I'll see you all next time. Good night, fellas, and sleep well.